or with subluxation, we want to make sure that, that at least is taken care of. And you know what, the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to show you just a little, we'll run out of time here, but if I took a plant, if I took that plant right there, I'm going to draw a tree. I don't know why I draw a coconut tree all the time, but anyway, that's supposed to be a coconut tree, but anyway, let's do this. This plant should actually needs nutrients, okay, a nutritious soil, it needs water, it needs light, sunlight, okay, to make it vibrant and healthy, wouldn't you say? Just like us, we need to have, a lot of different things. We need to have, we obviously need to have water too, but we need to have, rest, proper rest. We need to have the proper nutrition. We also need to have exercise as well, a little bit of exercise. They say 20 minutes of exercise a day, keeps you nice and healthy. They also say eat 6 times a day too. I mean, eat 6 times a day. Now, they're not talking about meals. They're talking about basically, just boosting your body up a little bit so that, when lunchtime comes, you don't devour everything, or in the evening you don't devour everything. But a lot of people have lost a lot of weight eating bigger in the morning and then less in the evening. So it just basically is how your body is. If your metabolism is lower, it's not going to burn off as much as we get older. But anyway, going back to this, this is very similar to us in our health, okay? But I'll tell you what, if there's a blockage here, guess what's going to happen? We're not going to be able to utilize any of that water. We're not going to be able to utilize any of the proper nutrients in there. And actually, like if this is exercise, okay, just like the sun is going to beat down on this plant, and it's not going to die overnight. It's going to deteriorate slowly. It's going to show signs of degradation, deterioration. And so therefore, with us, some people look at health as, I want to exercise, I want to get healthy that way. The problem is that if there's blockage or subluxation in the body, that's affecting not only joints, but it's affecting, hopefully, as I've explained, neurologically, which controls everything. And what's going to happen is that it's going to wither, it's going to die. With us, we have congenital issues in our family history. Those are going to start showing up as little brown, leaves. Maybe it's not bearing a lot any fruit anymore. Those kind of things. And we want to have, we want to have health. We want to have the energy that, to do the things that we want to do. And that's what really we want to do at South Lake, is get you guys to a point where you can get back into your quality of life, enjoy those things. And those are important. Your families are very vitally important, so you want to have energy to have time with, your children and your grandchildren. And so chiropractic really makes sure that there's an increased quality of life as well as, longevity of life. So, and it's not invasive, again, it's bloodless and it's pillless. And hopefully I've come up and given you enough information there to help you. The reason why I do these things is that later on you guys can ask me a little bit more in-depth questions, and then you already have the basic understanding of what chiropractic is and what things that we can do to prevent those functional diseases. And again, those causes are the chemicals, the toxicities, the hormones, and we have different tests that we can do that are very quick and easy to do to make sure that you guys are balanced in your adrenals, and also if your pH is a little lower, we can do things that are very inexpensive, not like if you went somewhere else and they said there's all these things you got to do. It's very simple to balance that. We can do that very easily by doing a check on you and saying, okay, this is what you need to do. And also the last thing, and hopefully I just want to reiterate it, is neurological. Okay, neurological is the last cause of creating functional diseases or functional problems in the body. So, what's the reason? What's the answer to the neurological? Well, getting adjusted. The adjustments in chiropractic. Okay, so hopefully you guys have gotten a lot of information from this talk, and I hope I didn't hold you up too much longer. But I want to just stop with this last thing. Basically, if you take a look at this is your nervous system, clear. Okay, so everything is, clear, everything is working properly, all the impulses are going from the brain and back and forth, the communication system is clear. When you get a subluxation, it's basically this kind of situation. It's trying to get through, to all those nerves, it's trying to tell, the body what to do, and the body is looking like it's struggling, And this is very close to this, and that's what we don't want to do. Okay, we don't want to get to that point where the body is so, it's struggling so bad. You ever see a car that, you know, its carburetor's clogged, and it's chugging along, and it's trying to get oxygen and stuff like that, and it's at a point where, you know, you just want to turn it off and say, man, it needs some work. And that's where we want to be. We want to come up and make sure that your bodies are working completely and your impulses are clear and not impeded. Okay? And frequency, you know, we can answer those questions. If you guys have questions about frequency, exercise, things particular to you, I'll be more than happy to answer that when we get you in on the, you know, in the individual appointments. Okay? Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was good information. And everybody that's I need to adjust, you just hold on and we'll get you really quickly. Okay?
Could you put the smaller illustration back up there so we can look at it?
Sure, sure.
Regarding the,
Which one? This one right here?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. I can come up and do that. Let me put it right here.
Okay.
And then what we can do is we can put that up because I'm going to grab all this stuff a little bit later. Okay, so we're all done. And I'm going to come up and, oh, do you have a question?
Yeah, you mentioned detoxing the liver. What method do you subscribe to for detoxing?
There's actually, to answer your question, I'm actually looking at a program. There's something that, you know, I always want to make something like this because it's beneficial to the person. I want to make someone have availability to it. So what I have done is I've taken a company that's called Douglas Lab, and they have really good, they only sell it to like health professionals, but a lot of it is dandelion and what else is the other, milk thistle. And that's what they use a lot to clear liver, gallbladder. But it's produced in a really good form, and you just take it for a month, and it just clears the body. You can also, there's a lot of people that have also done fruit cleansing, but you have to understand how to take fruit. You know, fruit, you have to eat fruit on an empty stomach, you know, because if you eat it with a full stomach, it can putrefy the food that's already in there. So I think they had someone, a doctor, or someone was talking something about that, yeah, and a lot of people were telling me about that, you know, and I was saying, you know, thank goodness, you know. But a lot of times I've always eat it like that, just to make sure that, you know, it's just something, you know, like the best snack food, you know. It has low calorie, cleans your body. You can actually do a cleanse just with fruit, you know. But this actually cleanses your gallbladder and your liver. And the liver is vitally important to clear, so you really need to focus on it. It's like $23, and that's like a month's supply, so it's really easy, you know. And then the adrenals, we do a screening to verify if someone has adrenal, you know, exhaustion, and then the same thing, we give supplementation, real natural supplementation, real, as the French say, you know, very soft on the body, and there's no side effect. Okay, but I'm looking at a system that's more a nutritional cleansing system that is complete. And what is done is it's actually made people lose a lot of weight. The protective mechanism for the body with toxicity is fat, you know, fat cells. Because when the liver ends up having too much overload of toxins, what it does is it pours over into the fat cells. So that's the reason why people go on a diet and they come up and they go on a diet and they eat less and their metabolism goes down. Finally, they feel so terrible, they're like, oh man, I gotta do something. And they eat again, and then they go back to where they were. And the reason why is that the body's protective mechanism for toxins is fat. So if you come up and get rid of the toxins, you know, you get rid of the toxins and the fat will not come back. Now those of us that don't have a lot of fat, but we're still exposed to toxins, what happens is we show symptoms very quickly. You know, headaches, tiredness, you know, stomach issues, you know, a lot of things that will manifest because the body is trying to tell us something is wrong, do something about it. Again, it's like pain, it's a warning system. You know, smoke alarm doesn't go off right away, does it? It basically the fire and then the smoke has to go, and then it gets to the alarm, and then the alarm goes off. So it's the same thing with health, you know. That's the reason why pain is the last thing to show up, you know, but then it quickly goes away. You know, so sometimes people in chiropractic, they say, well, I'm all good, I'm fine, and then we don't see them until pain sets in. The problem with that is it's a detrimental effect. It's, you know, once pain sets in again, you got 80% of the problem. We have to continue to reverse it, and each episode gets worse and worse because of inflammation, you know, soft tissue damage, you know, all those things, and obviously joint damage. Actually, pain doesn't show up really a lot of times until joints start to get deteriorate. And by that time, you know, it's pretty bad, you know. So we don't want to have continued joint deterioration. Okay, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
How do you get the adrenal testing? Do you make an appointment?
Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a note for all you guys that are here. I'll put down health talk on your file, and then what I'll do is I'll put in parentheses adrenals and pH, and we'll do those absolutely free for you. It's usually a $40 charge for you guys staying, taking the time. And a lot of you guys that are really pressed on getting here, I really wanted to do it on you, so that's the reason why I wanted you guys here to